Okay.
Okay, generally saying that two-thirds of Bangladesh is wetland, and in number, if we count, it's more than 12,000 number wetlands. So previously, it was managed by the district authorities, district administration, and it was on leasing process. And now we are from IUCN and with other donor funding organizations, we are trying to change the tradition. And now we are organizing communities to do that management. And at different tiers of the village, union, and at the central level, we are organizing communities to have the community organization so that they can take over the management of the wetlands. This is a very challenging job yet, because on one hand organization is still weak and we need a lot of cooperation, and there are a lot of other factors also affecting, because the people who we are used to take lease, they are very strong persons, so they try to discourage this process yet. So I think for wetland management, if community can realize and that these resources belongs to them, if they can manage, they can use it for longer time on a sustained basis. And we are trying to create that example, and I hope with all other cooperation from district authority, from other organizations, that people's right on the wetland can be established. Thank you. The wetlands, yeah. Yeah, climate change definitely has impact, particularly if you see rain or without rain. And the other impact is very important for Bangladesh. You know, Bangladesh is a floodplain, and the catchment area is outside. Even the territory is outside Bangladesh. So if there is any impact goes on the outside territories, like if I say about the Tangwa Haur, that's the Meghalaya forest is depleting also, and there are a lot of erosion that are coming down, the silt and soil coming down, and that carries with the rainwater, and it's almost now filling up the basins of the wetlands. So this is one, and in general the climate affecting the river flow and others, particularly if we see the sea level rise, so that will definitely affect the overall wetland situation in Bangladesh.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So I visited this wetland today, and I was really impressed by its pristine nature, and I feel that since this wetland is very less disturbed, so there is every possibility that there might be some endemic species. So a very good inventory of all the species is highly essential and assumes high priority. And for all wetland management, successful governance, kind of one institution or a body which is very efficient in coordinating various actions and implementing the management plan. So my sense is that a very good organization or institution is required or essential who can take over the responsibility of managing this pristine wetland. And I also feel that we may get some endemic species from this wetland, and we have to understand what are the ecosystem services which this wetland is providing, so that the local community can really appreciate that this wetland is giving much more benefit, and which is not visible, but it is coming to them in an indirect manner. So I'm highly impressed with the pristine nature of this wetland, and because it is a Ramsar site, because I work for a Ramsar site in India, that is Chilika Lake. So I feel that this wetland could be a very important to the local community. Whatever direct benefits they are getting in terms of that, at the same time the ecosystem services which this wetland provides, maybe it is a spawning ground for some of the fish which they catch. So we have to understand how many species are there, and how, kind of what are their importance, and how they are helping the wetlands and providing the ecosystem services. So two recommendation I would like to make. One is that a proper inventory of this wetland, and second is a very efficient institution for better governance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mas.
Okay, so I think the purpose of this workshop is to share the experience of all the different countries in terms of wetland governance. And related to wetland governance in Laos, I think there have been some major achievements for the past 2-3 years, mainly related to the Ramsar Convention, with the strong involvement from the government in implementing the Ramsar Convention at national, provincial and district level, but also a strong work with the community involvement in decision making for the management of the two sites, mainly in Bun Khet Ngong, with the drafting of a management plan that is a co-drafting, so drafted by the communities and by the different Ramsar committee with support from IUCN. So this is one of the examples that we want to show to the other country, this organization of Ramsar in Laos and the involvement of the communities in Bun Khet Ngong.
So we are catching up with the regional countries.
Yes, I think we are catching up. There's still a lot to do. We still can learn from other countries, but on some aspect we also have good lessons learned to give. We also, as Mr. Mathur said earlier in the conference, the Lao government is now revising the water law, the law on water resource, and including wetland component in the water law. And this is also something that is really new for the region, really innovative, and that will be for sure really important to share with the other participants.
5 years plans that have been set up. What is the priority that you're going to focus on?
So there are so many priorities. One of the priorities is to conserve the biodiversity, because the biodiversity on the site is threatened by over-harvesting, over-hunting, improper development, climate change. We also want to secure and maintain the livelihood of the people, because we know in Laos that the wetland and rivers are quite important to provide food and income for the communities, and this is the case for the two Ramsar sites. So this will be one of the priority, to give them alternative and a way to support their livelihood. We also want to focus on the cultural use and the cultural value of this site. Bun Khet Ngong and Se Champon are quite important at a cultural level for the country, with many sacred sites, tradition, elephant tradition in Bun Khet Ngong, and many sacred places in Se Champon. So this is also something that we want to showcase in the country and in Southeast Asia. We also want to strengthen, to support the government and the community in exchanging with the other countries. So we plan to also have field trip to other countries, other Ramsar sites, to exchange, to see how it works in other countries, and to bring again the Lao experience to other participants.